Hey, we're live on Facebook. It's Joanne, the tax lien lady, answering your questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds. And today I have my assistant Debbie supporting me. Usually it's Nicole, but Nicole had something else today. So Debbie is filling in. Thanks, Debbie, for being here. And I know you have questions for me that we got in the Facebook group. And if you guys don't know, we have a free Facebook group that you can join. It is at facebook.com/tax lien in, facebook.com/group, answer some questions. We just want to make sure you're interested in tax lien investing before we let you in, right? Because otherwise there's no reason to join the group. And when people come in, one of the questions that we ask is, what is your most important question when it comes to investing in tax liens or tax deeds? So we've got some questions from people that have joined. And Deb, you could give me those questions in the comments and I'll be able to see them here on StreamYard, and I can actually comment here as well. Okay, so here's our first question from somebody in the group. How can I invest in the most efficient manner? And that's kind of hard to answer because I don't know what you mean by the most efficient manner. And there's, first of all, there's tax liens, tax deeds, and redeemable deeds. So there's three different types of investing you can do when it comes to delinquent tax properties. And which one you want to invest in depends on what you want out of it. Do you want to get the return on your money? In which case you're going to want to do tax liens and look into the states that have tax liens. Do you want to get the property? In which case I don't recommend you do tax liens. I recommend you do tax deeds. And if you're happy with either, then I suggest you look into redeemable deeds. Okay, so that's one aspect of, the most efficient manner of investing in tax liens or tax deeds. And then the other aspect is, should you go to live sales or online sales? And again, that depends on where you, how much money you have to invest, and what you want to do. So it's kind of hard for me to answer that question without knowing more from the person who asked it. But if you're here, that question was from DK. So if you're here, you can ask me, you can tell me more. If not, then you could tell me more after you watch the replay of this Facebook Live. It's going to be here as soon as we're done with this Facebook Live. The replay is going to be here on my Facebook page. And we also put it on the channel, the YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube /tax lien lady is our YouTube channel. All right, Deb, what other questions do we have? Other questions for me? I am going to take a sip of my water. And for you guys that are watching live, just say hello when you come in and let me know what state you're coming in from, because that is going to determine how I answer your question. Because tax lien and tax deed investing is very different in different states. So go ahead and put your comments in, say hello, let me know where you're coming in from. I can see your comments. I'm doing this from StreamYard and it gets streamed right to the Facebook page. And when I do this into my Facebook page, I can comment and I can see your comments. Okay. So say hello, let me know what state you're in, and give me your questions. I'm here to answer your questions. And Debbie, do we have more questions from the group? So while I'm waiting for more questions, also water. Okay, we've got another question from Glenda, and Glenda asked, how can I get the deals? And that, again, this depends. So a lot of these are completely open-ended, vague questions, okay? And Glenda, that all depends on what state you're in and what deals you're interested in. Are you interested in getting the property, or are you interested in getting a return on your money? And I have 5 steps to buying your profitable tax lien or tax deed. And by the way, I am going to go over those 5 steps. I have a masterclass coming up on Thursday. You could sign up for free. Debbie, could you put the link in for the masterclass? If they go to taxlienlady.com/tax-sale-success-masterclass, that's the sign up page, and they can sign up for free and get in that masterclass. Now, in that masterclass, I am going to go over the 5 steps to buying profitable tax liens or tax deeds. So I highly recommend it. Okay. And you could put that right into the comments, into the Facebook comments. And we're going to go over in that masterclass. The other things that we're going to go over are the 3 things that you need to be a successful tax lien or tax deed investor. And then we have another question from Adam. What are some of the best strategies? Oh, great question, Adam. Okay. Let me start by telling, I think, the worst strategy that a lot of people come to me and they say, I want to know how to get the over-the-counter or the leftover liens or deeds directly from the county. That is not a strategy I recommend. It is not a strategy I do. Because yes, sales are competitive. They are so competitive that nothing good gets left over. Every once in a while, maybe something slips through the cracks because somebody didn't pay for it. They bid on it. They won the bid at the sale, but they didn't pay for it, so it gets left over. But that is going to be grabbed up right away as soon as that list comes out. And if you just go anytime you want to the county and you ask for the leftover list, first of all, not all counties sell over-the-counter or leftover liens or deeds. And the ones that do, by the time you get there and ask for it, there's going to be nothing good left. It's a time-consuming strategy. I have tried it. I have not had good success. I do not recommend it for my clients. What I do recommend, there are 3 strategies that I do, that I personally do, that I like. One is going to live sales. Another one is doing the online sales. And the third one is buying liens that somebody else is selling, that somebody else bought at the sale and is selling. Now, you have to be careful when you do that, because there are big funds that will sell off their junk to organizations that will then try to sell them to you, right? So I don't buy them from organizations. I buy them from individuals, from investors who have bought them and now they want to sell them. Why would an investor want to sell their liens? Well, because some investors don't want to bother with the foreclosure. They only want the return on their money. They don't want to go through foreclosure. So when it gets time, when a redemption period gets close to ending, they want to sell those liens and just get their money, right? And sometimes they're willing to take less than the redemption value. And sometimes I would pay the redemption value, but sometimes I want a discount on the redemption value. I want to make it so that both the buyer and the seller make money. That's the way I like to work it. Okay. All right. So we have one more question that we got ahead of time. And while I'm answering this question, you guys that are here watching this, I want you to think of your questions and put them in for me. And by the way, thank you, Debbie. She has put in the link for you to sign up for the masterclass. Okay, we're doing it Thursday at 7 p.m. Okay, so the last question we have here is from Alexander, and he asks, how can I prevent loss? Well, here's the thing. You've heard the term government guaranteed, right? That people used to throw out about tax lien investing, and people hear that and they think that you're guaranteed to get paid. That's not what they mean by government guaranteed. What they mean is that your return is guaranteed by local government law, but you're not guaranteed to get paid. The guarantee is the property. So the way you prevent loss is by doing due diligence on the property, which just means that you're making sure the property is valuable, that the property has value. You're not just investing willy-nilly, right? You're doing a little bit of research on the properties. Now, it depends, again, this depends on what state you're investing in, whether you're an ET, okay, because actually buying the property. So the due diligence you're going to do in that case is the same due diligence that you would do if you were buying a property, because you are buying a property, right? But with liens, you're not buying the property. So you don't have to do quite as much as you do for deeds, but you do have to make sure the property is valuable, okay? That's how you, basically that's how you prevent loss. If you want a more detailed way of preventing loss and making sure that you're profitable, then I would recommend that right now we have the Advanced Tax Lien Investing Secrets training going on. Now, it's closed right now to anybody that wants to sign up for it, unless you talk to me first. I have to make sure that it's what you want to do. We do have a couple of spots that comes along with 8 modules of training from me. All right, so if you're interested in that, you need to reach out to me at info@taxlienlady.com. Okay, and that reminds me, we have that masterclass coming up on Thursday, and we really didn't advertise it. It was one of the things that I gave away in my interview when we did the wealth building conference that just ended. So I really didn't advertise it, and I guess I have to get an email out about that today, Debbie. Hi. Hello. I'm going to try to pronounce your name. Hello. I hope I pronounced it okay or close to the real pronunciation. Very nice to meet you. Do you have a question for me that I could answer for you? And where are you coming in from? What state are you coming in from? And while I wait for your answer, does anybody have any questions for me? Because, hey, I am here to answer your questions. So if you don't have any questions for me, I'm not going to hang around that much longer because I already answered the ones that we got ahead of time from the group. Debbie, unless we have any more, you could put them in now if we do. Ah, you're from Pakistan. So are you watching this from Pakistan? Wow, I'm impressed. Yes. Thank you for joining. So while you're here from Pakistan, I will let you know the 2 things that you need to invest in tax liens as a foreign investor. You need 2 things. You need a U.S. Bank account and a U.S. tax ID number. Now, if you don't have those things, you can still invest in tax deeds in a lot of states. Like you can buy tax deeds, but you won't be able to buy tax liens. And not a lot of tax lien states allow foreign investors, but some of them do, as long as you have a U.S. bank account and a U.S. tax ID number. But for deeds, all you need is a driver's license. You need some kind of form of identification, right? and a way to pay in US. And we had a question about Michigan. Is Michigan still taking credit cards for payment? I'm not sure, but you could check it out at tax-sale.info. Tax dash, and when I say dash, I mean hyphen, tax-sale.info, okay, is the website that does most of the Michigan online tax sales. All right, so you could check it out on there. I'm not sure which counties do take credit cards, and if they still do, I'm not sure. Okay. Is anyone else taking credit cards for payment? Offhand, I do not know. That's something you have to check county by county. And lien sales generally do not. For lien sales, you usually have to pay by ACH debit for your deposit and money wire for the rest, okay? But for deed sales, some of the counties might take credit cards. A lot of them will only take certified funds, but some of them will take credit cards. You have to check county by county. Hi, Jennifer. As an investor, is it recommended to have an LLC to invest in tax liens? No. And if yes, what are the benefits of doing so? For tax liens, there aren't really benefits of investing in your LLC. I will tell you that I have invested in an LLC, a limited partnership, a trust, my own name, my husband's name. And I invested in some states, it doesn't matter. In most states, it doesn't matter, but there's some states where if you go to invest in the name of your LLC, they're going to make it harder for you. All right. In Indiana, if you can use your LLC, but if you do, you have to register your LLC to do business in Indiana. Technically, if you're using an entity, the entity has to be registered in that state that you're investing in. All right. When you're going to a lien sale, you don't have any responsibility for the property. You don't have any say in the property. You don't have any ownership of the property. You're just putting a lien on the property, right? It's as if you were a mortgage company or something like that, right? You're putting a lien on the property. You don't own it. You don't have any ownership. Your deed sale is different to your LLC or in a trust. But beware that in some states, your LLC is going to have to be registered in that state. Okay. Yeah, and if you do not have a bank account, you have no way to pay for any liens or deeds that you buy. So you need a way to pay for that, okay? Most states are going to require a US bank account. But there's one state you can look into that doesn't care, as long as they can get the money out of you, they don't care what bank account it comes from, but you have to be able to pay in US dollars. That state is Louisiana. So you could do that. Any other questions? These have been great questions, guys. Thank you. So we have somebody from Florida today. We have somebody from Pakistan. Who else is here? Who else is here? From where are you coming in from? And one more time, I want to tell you about the masterclass, free tax sales success masterclass. We are doing Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And that's only 2 days from now, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And it's in the comments. The link for the masterclass is in the comments. Okay. All right, so if there are no more questions, Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. So last call, guys. If you have a question, put it in and let me know where you're coming in from. And thank you, Debbie. She's just put the link in again for the masterclass that happens tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, I'm sorry, Thursday night. Today's only Tuesday. Okay. Last call for questions. And if you missed, I know there's a couple of people who just came on. If you missed the beginning of this call, we've been on for 20 minutes already. The replay will be here as soon as we end. Okay, so what is the next big sale coming up? Debbie, I'm not sure what they mean by a big sale. If they mean the next, I mean, tax lien sales or tax. Arizona has tax lien sales in February. They will be opening up soon, if not already. We do have a course specifically for Arizona. So I don't know if that is what's meant by that question. All right, and Jennifer has another question. Can you explain the difference between a tax deed and a redeemable tax deed? Sure, Jennifer, be glad to. A tax deed, you're buying the property. You pay for it at the sale and you get the deed. Now, depending on the sale, you might have to wait to get the deed because you might also have to pay for recording the deed and they'll send you the recorded deed, or you'll get the deed and then you'll have to record it. But you get the deed to the property. That's a tax deed sale. A redeemable deed sale, you don't actually get the deed to the property. You get a tax deed, but you don't own the property until the redemption period is over. In most redeemable deed states, you're not the actual owner of the property until the redemption period is over. And it's usually a year in most redeemable deed states. The exception is Texas. In Texas, you are considered the owner of the property, but you still have to wait the redemption period before the previous owner has the right to redeem it still. Okay, you're considered the owner once you buy the deed, right? But the previous owner can still redeem it from you. Okay, and in Texas, if it's a non-homesteaded property, that means the owner doesn't live in the property, right? If it's a non-homesteaded property, it's a 6-month redemption period. If it's a homesteaded property, it's a 2-year redemption period. So you have to wait 2 years until the previous. Okay. Did that answer your question, Jennifer? And is anybody, there might be a little technical difficulty here because every once in a while my video goes off, so it might be a little choppy, but once we end this and the replay goes, it should be fine, I'm hoping. All right. Okay, and the question we had before about what's the next big sale coming up, that was for tax liens, and I think I answered it. It would be the Arizona sales, and after that, the Indiana commissioner sales are coming up. All right, any other questions? Again, this is last call before we end the session. And you're welcome, Jennifer. And while I'm waiting to see if there are any other questions, it's flavored cherry lime, all natural, supposedly. Okay. Well, I don't see any other questions here that are coming in from the Facebook group. And Debbie, if we have no other questions, anything on your end, let me know. Otherwise, we're gonna end this Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. I will be back next week. No more questions. Okay. All right, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for your questions. Join me Thursday, 7 p.m. Debbie has put the link in here for you. Go to taxlienlady.com/. slash tax in between those words. And Debbie has already put that link in there for you twice. So I'll see you on Thursday. Also on Thursday, inside the Facebook group, the private Facebook group that we have, a tax sale success Facebook group, I do a tax lien tip at 12 o'clock every Thursday. So I will see you there. All right, everybody, thanks for being here. And if you just joined me, don't worry. As soon as we end this, the replay will be posted. Bye now.